Hello, everyone. This is Andy Munoz. This is my video on the Redskins logo and the controversy. Um, I think the best way to start is through the biggest dictator of the problem, you could say. And to me, it is definitely Dan Snyder, the owner of the Redskins, that could easily fix this problem, but has been defending this logo with some very vague reasoning. He's always bringing up the fact that it's very historic and it's very expensive, yet neither of those is very true. The reasoning of it being historic is ironically outdated. It's almost as if we don't live in a society where we've changed things that have been going on for years. Um, that's such a weak defense. And his other reasoning is the fact that it costs $20 million to change. That's the estimated amount it would cost for any big NFL team to change their name or their logo, which isn't very expensive for a man that owns a $180 million yacht. I guarantee you a billionaire like him could easily afford a $20 million expense, especially on a team that is designated in the capital and brings in over $100 million at least a year in profits. I think $20 million might be enough for him to change. And it's just not the Redskins as a whole. I feel like this problem has become just society in America as a whole, completely forgetting that we have a native culture. And I don't want to be very hypocritical because myself, I tend to forget that. But after taking a class where I was introduced to the Native culture and given a new perspective on it by a Native person, Professor Turcott, I asked him about this controversy, and I asked him what exactly we could, or what's his opinion, and any way he thinks he could fix it. And I'm just going to read you quickly what he said. He said, obviously, I'm against all Native mascots or even images used as logos which are not affiliated with actual Native people or Native institutions. The word Redskins is a racial slur, especially when used by non-Native people. It is equivalent of the N-word, except in America, white people walk around with it on their clothing, which they do not with the N-word. Most of the Washington team has done to defend the use of his name and image has been fabricated. The phony claims about the history of the name. He talked about that, and then he also said, there's nothing honorable about these mascots. In fact, there are reputable studies which show that they are actually harmful. Getting rid of the Washington team names is important because it is the most visible and most insulting version. The fact that the team represents our nation's capital city speaks volumes about how poorly our country perceives Native people. Native people will never really be able to improve our position in America, while these caricatures and cartoons are considered acceptable by the larger population. The way Professor Turcott mentions all this is perfect. He really emphasizes the way, as a society as a whole, we treat Native Americans. And just by the use of sports, we tend to forget. One of the quotes I found that's perfect for the situation is, it says, the first step in solving any problem is realizing that there is one. This quote perfectly describes what is going on in this Redskins dilemma. I think as a society we have to realize that this is a problem to fix it. And yeah, I just thought it was a good idea to bring it up. And it's just not the Redskins that it has a problem. I think it's just sports in general has been a very big problem with the treatment of Native Americans. The Florida State Seminoles, they are a university and a public university, and yet they have a Native American mascot, who is actually a Caucasian man dressed up in red face, who is literally, there's a word for it. It's called cultural appropriation, and we tend to forget that. And yeah, he's riding a horse in front of thousands of drunk white people. There's the Wahoo for the Cleveland Indians, who has been a big problem. Cleveland Indians fans seem to forget that it could be described as red face, but if it was blackface for some people, it'd be the end of it. I have a clip coming up where it was a protest right outside the Cleveland Indian Stadium, and they were being peaceful. They were just had signs saying that the logo was a problem, and you'll see an Indians fan's reaction to it, and it's not very nice, and I'll let you see it.
You got 3 people protesting. Big deal. Go try. It's a caricature. Get over it. Get up. You think every Irish person rags on a Notre Dame logo? You're a jerk. Don't tell me to shove up. Who the fuck are you, loser? You're a fucking loser. Go off. You're a fucking loser. It's a caricature. Draw a caricature.
So yeah, that guy wasn't very happy with the protesting, but it's not the worst one I've seen. So the image on the screen is a Philadelphia Flyers fan. He has a knife going through a native person's head, which is the Blackhawks logo. And again, we tend to act like that's not a problem. It's so ironic how we tend to think we're honoring these people when we have drunk people dressed up as them, which is definitely just mocking, not honoring. Or we have fans like this guy stabbing someone that looks just like what could be their kids at one point. But yeah, going back to the Redskins here, the ironic part is that they'll be happy with claiming a guy like Reuben Foster, who's on the screen, who has dealt with multiple cases of domestic abuse, a very bad person, yet they find it a problem to have they don't find it offensive to have a logo. But yeah, I think in today's Trump's America, it's really hard to even get people to acknowledge the bad that they're doing. But if you look at the logo on the screen, I guarantee you, if that was a new logo, people would be in an outcry, and it would probably be removed immediately. So yeah, that's my debate on this. I guess my end message would just be that it seems that society that we live in today, something like mocking a culture should have been gone years ago, yet we seem to forget about the people that were here from the beginning. The lack of respect given to Native people is displayed in sports, which reflects the unfortunate situation we face in America today. I hope that we realize that their actions are not right. As I mentioned before, the logo is being mocked rather than honored. And I think we should always take that into account when we're wearing our Blackhawks jerseys or wearing a Cleveland Indians hat for some reason, even though usually all these teams are pretty bad. That's why the Redskins haven't won in years. But yeah, we should just think about that before we do that.